Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Third Odyssey, Back to the Motherland. So, continuing on where we left off last time, we're still in the middle of trying to pay off a couple of loans that I took out to be able to convince these guys over here of our awesomeness and thereby get them as a subject and make them the proper religion and everything. And we are also colonizing our way across the region in our continued expansion efforts. I also called off a war last time just because it wasn't going to go our way, simply because our ally decided at the last minute they would rather not commit to fighting alongside us against those natives that were formerly inhabiting that province, but no longer doing so. Someone has also given us some cash, so we'll put it in the treasury, and use that combined with what we currently have to pay off one of our loans. We now have 2 loans to go, the equivalent of about 120 gold that we'll need, but there's only 2 loans left. And we're losing about 0.36 in gold from the interest off of those loans, so it'll be good for the treasury to be able to get that out of the way. Appalachian aqueducts. The Senate and other prominent citizens have brought to our attention that we are lacking a reliable source of fresh water. They are requesting our aid in building a large network of aqueducts in the Appalachian Mountains to bring water to our capital and the surrounding countryside. This would be used for farming, public baths, and new sewage system. Our new sewage system, rather. And as a result, we could produce more and colonize faster. As for construction, 4 plans have been proposed to us by our architects. And the complex characteristics of the connections itself also requires us to have the construction area examined and mapped. This first guy... Let's see, that... bunch of modifier stuff, we would lose 14 money and 50 admin power. I suppose the thing in question here is, do we want to spread it out more in exchange for slightly less production efficiency in manpower and tax, or centralize things? And also, the less that we spread it out, the less money we have to spend. I'm gonna go with this one, Chiral Monacon Detis Odessa Elysia. We get less overall benefit, but it's the sort of the idea that we're spreading the benefit around more. Therefore, there's less benefit everywhere. And I think that we want as many places as possible to get this benefit, even if there's less of it. It's going to cost us 14.67 ducats and 50 admin power, but I'm fine with that. That has accomplished a mission, apparently. A true nation. How is that accomplished? I'm confused. Oh, has finished the aqueduct construction. This is one of the following things. Has to either be 1520, we have finished the aqueduct construction, or the year is 1500 and we have at least 5 cities and stability 1. So we've accomplished this. That will replace manpower shortage with settler heritage. enhance our manpower modifiers, force limit modifiers, decrease land maintenance and naval maintenance, and just make a whole lot of stuff cost less. Let's actually check what manpower shortage is causing right now, just so I can see what the difference is. Manpower shortage. Everything's more expensive and we have a lot less manpower. So this is just going to be objectively good. And Elysia gets level 2 Center of Trade. And Ivos receives Swamp Reclamation until the end of the game for local development cost up, supply limit up, friendly movement speed up, and hostile movements. And hostile movement speed takes longer. Oh yes. How glorious. A new age, though that one is going to require us to be in the Western or Modern Hellenic Technology Group, or have a neighbor who is, and the modifier Alexandrian Library, and it needs to be 1515. But the one I'm actually interested in getting going on, just because it seems kind of neat, is establishing a census system. We need admin 10 for that. Also, form colonial institutions. Once we complete the ideas and have enough money, I can do that. But things are moving along rather nicely for the Empire. That much is for certain. Things are moving along nicely for us, and Detis is just about established. Next month, in fact, it will be fully established. So, if I was to jack up army units all the way, I'd still be making 2.71 ducats. So I'm gonna do that. And that's even with a colony on the go. Excellent. Speaking of colonies, it's been fully established. And I think it's time we started pushing north. Let's colonize our way up to the north now. That place has a lot of native issues, though, so I'll have to keep the army nearby in case they decide to start something. Now we have to... Now, though, we're getting into regions where I don't establish the cores through events, but I have to do it manually. Okay. Oh. Our leader just died. So now Mikhail the 11th Paleologos will rule our nation. He has 5 admin, 4 diplo, 1 military. Once again, I am going to have Poseidon be our patron deity because we're more focused on colonization and peaceful expansion at the moment, so that is the best approach, I think. At least for the moment. And our two allies are still not willing to become vassals because they have a better economy than us. Hopefully I can eventually overcome that. The Tuscarora. That's not who I wanted to select, but oh well. My Splendor is also not pretty high, so I can purchase an ability with that. This whole Aegis thing I've never really played around too much with, so I know basically nothing about it. Let me see. What do we want? Cavalry to infantry ratio, war taxes cost, transfer subject peace treaty at half cost, allow claims bordering claims, aggressive expansion impact, a lot of these require me to be a very specific nation, though, so I can't take them. I'm going to actually pick up the one for aggressive expansion impact. I probably won't be doing any aggressive expansion for a while, but it's the one that'll probably be the handiest for the time being. Okay, and we've got the Poseidon thing. I shall lead the procession, even if it does delay us paying off our next loan. I shall lead it. By the way, what's it going to cost to up our stability? 194 administrative power, so once we get enough saved up, I will increase stability. We've also renewed the 2 loans, so I'll need to pay that off eventually, once we have enough money. That'll be a total of 65 this occasion because of the renewal. And indeed, our manpower has increased above 10,000 as its base cap. Newborn daughter, who rejoiced when they heard the news that a young princess has been born, and celebrated for days and nights, but you have not named your young daughter your heir yet. Okay, I could declare her to be my heir. That would cost me 10 legitimacy, and this would name a 223 noble with an average claim the heir. I'm guessing we lose legitimacy because of the whole thing of patriarchal society, blah blah blah, so that would be probably pretty commonplace in the Empire. We could always say I want a male heir, but honestly, why the hell not? Name her my heir. It's going to piss off a lot of the locals and reduce the chance of a new heir massively if I say I want a male heir, so we will declare her my new heir. So, Theodora, that's a good name, I think. Nice and Roman. The House of Camtizes. With the union of Michael the 11th and Helena, we have gained not only a spouse but also a new ally in the realm. The Camtizes is an old and influential family, and their seat in Ivos is a jewel of the Elysian Empire. Of course, friendship has to go both ways, and Helene will be expected to speak for her kin, while our Basilius will be expected to consider such advice very carefully. Ivos is the seat of the family of our Basilius, or Basilea. It will be less likely to revolt, but will be granted privileges, making it harder to tax or convert. They gain a seat of strong aristocrats, reduction to local unrest, -5 missionary strength, and plus 0.10 missionaries autonomy change. God, I just cannot talk today with a lot of stuff, it seems. Jeez. Okay, advisor costs down. There should be a stable government. Several members are worried about changes proposed how the realm should be ruled, and they demand a stop to such outrageous reforms. It's not our tried and true traditions, naturally avoiding mentioning how the changes would impact their own power base. Fuck off. Fuck off. Nobody cares what you idiots think. But now I can repay one of my 2 loans. And we only have the 1 loan left. It's still hitting us with that 0.36 interest, but I should be able to pay it off soon enough. After all, just look at this. Army at maximum maintenance, and we're still making 4 ducats a month. Or 4 gold, as I'm more likely to refer to it, because I sort of go back and forth between gold and ducats for whatever reason. That just seems to be the way I do things. Don't ask me to explain it, it's unexplainable. Court factions influence the ruler, and I gain military power. So hooray for that. Oh, I love the music in U4, I really do. It is just great. And the custom soundtracks added by this particular mod are just as epic. They're just amazing. I love it. I fucking love it. That is one thing you can never say about Europa Universalis. Even if you're someone who despises the mana system with every fiber of your being, and I'll be taking that stability now, even if you're one of those people, then you cannot say this game has bad music. You can't say that about any Paradox games, and if you do, then that statement is heresy, and you will be executed for treason. And heresy, and treason. And heresy. Did I mention heresy? Because it's heretical to think these games have bad soundtracks. It just is. Octobulus there now produces tobacco, so that's more gold for us. And we now have enough gold, speaking of which, to pay off our last loan, so goodbye, loans. We have no more of you. Oh my god, I'm an idiot. My merchants have just been sitting here doing fuck all for this entire damn game. Collect from trade node, please. And the other merchant can go down here and work on transferring trade power. I don't know that this will actually give me any money, any significant amount of income, I should say, but it's worth a try. Well, that's about an extra gold, plus a little bit, so I would say that was well worth the effort. Natives are also being integrated in our new colony. They've come to an understanding with the natives. Well, that's an increase to base tax, base production, base manpower. We don't get any extra population out of it, though. But we're into the year 1490 now. The 16th century is fast approaching. Only 10 years to go until 1500. The point at which there will be a mere 300 years left in the game's timetable. Yeah, this tends to be one of those games that lasts for a while. Even though I never usually play it to the end. Harsh life, on the ocean. Many join the ranks of our navy expecting a more exciting life awaiting them, with the opportunity to leave their home behind and see sea and land beyond the Elysian borders. Not all are prepared for an often harsh and even more often dull and boring life at sea, stuck with endlessly repetitive tasks, food and company on longer journeys. Any young sailors quickly regret their decision. Dismissed as daydreaming landlubbers by their more seasoned crew members, they quickly become more trouble than they're worth. Some might eventually grow used to the reality of the job and become useful, but others do more good returning home. Recruitment propaganda has its downsides, and we lose about 400 sailors, but I don't really need any of them right now. Expanding the Pantheon. We have encountered so many different gods, it's difficult to know which ones are true or not. If there's one thing we have learnt, it's that we don't know them all. That's why our high priests have studied gods from local populations. Some can be linked to our own, but some are new, and of the new ones, some seem really interesting. The high priests are now making preparations to expand the pantheon of gods, add the unknown stories about our own gods to the mythos, and introduce the brand new ones to the people. On the other hand, there are those high priests that are concerned that expanding the pantheon would no longer allow us to worship our historical gods properly. And after all, it is they who helped us in the past. Whatever the case, this internal conflict can't go on for much longer, and it's up to the ruler of Elysia, the one who stands closest to the gods, to make the right call. So, we have two options. You could say, all true gods require worshipping, see to it they are honored. We lose 25 diplomatic power. Tolerance of the true faith goes down. Let tolerance of heretics, tolerance of heathens, and religious unity go up. Or our gods must be worshipped before all others. We must forget that. Tolerance of heretics and heathens goes down, but missionary strength and tolerance of the true faith goes up. Yeah, I think we're going to go with that. Our gods must be worshipped first. They can worship their heathen gods if they want, but they don't get official state recognition for it. That might be a dumb idea, but I'm still going to do it. And we can now get level 8 diplomatic technology. Which is going to give us an increase to the maximum number of cultures we can promote, the ability to build shipyards, more naval morale, and increase to trade range. Go for it. Level 9 diplomatic technology will unlock some new ship types, but it's going to be a while before we get that, because we're quite ahead of time with our diplomatic technology at the moment. Level 9 is also going to give us an increase to colonial range. But there's no hurry for that, really, so no need to be concerned. Not that we are concerned, mind you. Still, no need to be concerned. Court factions influence the ruler. The empire runs on paper. More admin. Yes, please. Now, this next idea, we need 338 admin to unlock, and for some reason, the Barbari councils have been declining in influence. That reduces their influence to 0. Interestingly enough, so they now have basically no influence whatsoever. Vinland, our ally, is requesting we come to their aid in their conquest of someone. Or rather, up there. I'm going to say yes, but this is just sort of a paper. We sign the paper, so we send the agreement type of thing. As opposed to, I actually have any intentions to provide them with any sort of military assistance. Our soldiers are going to stay home. And there's no reason for us to go help them out, really. There's no reason at all, so on paper we agree to help, but in actuality we will do nothing of the sort. We also need a new military advisor, because the old one just croaked. And the only level 1 guy is one for an increase to land force limit modifier. Fine. We'll hire you. And I just realized I should probably change where my power focus is, because our leader has quite crap military skill. So we'll focus on military to make up for that. It would seem to be the most sensible thing to do, honestly. And I'm going to recruit a few more men to bolster our army. Right now we only have 11,000. I should make up for that. Just a little bit. A few more infantry and cavalry. There we go. And I can now get this next idea for embargo efficiency and naval combat off owned coasts. But as I've said before, I'm not getting that idea because I particularly care for it. It's more down to the fact that I want some of the ones that are unlocked later. Like that colony start thing and the institution spread chance. So we need another 330 to get to the next one, which is one of ones I'm actually interested in having for myself. We now have 14,000 men in our army, and it's about to go up to 15,000. Once we finish up here with those cavalry. Yep, 15,000 men now. There we go. I could potentially recruit 2 more, but I'm fairly certain that's added in that advisor bolstering my force limit. So I'm gonna stick to 15,000 for now. Though, I really have to wonder, how is it that Tuscarora still thinks they have superior military power to me? I have 15,000 men in my army, they have only 8,000. And these guys, they're the same damn way. Their military power compared to mine is inferior, yet they don't seem to think that. Still, we're going to keep on expanding our army, and eventually, perhaps they'll change their tune. And really, it's, if you look at it, for the vassalization, it's our economic base that's the problem. So we need to grow our economy to get these guys to be willing to submit to us and accept vassalization. That's the main problem, not our military, our economy. Let's see here. They'd be able to get all of... If I was to attack Catawba, all of their allies, bar one, would join in, but both of my allies would join in just based on the fact that they like me. So I could conquer Catawba. However, they have 2 allies, which is going to be a bit annoying to deal with, even if one of those allies that would jump in is very far away. And actually they have 3 allies, not 2. What am I saying? So I'm not going to be going to war with those guys anytime soon. Nor am I going to be fabricating any claims anytime soon. Sacrifices to the gods, on the other hand. And good harvest. Well, we'll put the money into the treasury, and then I don't have to wait on this, and we'll give the gods their sacrifice now. Okay. Side pleased expired. And I'm going to continue colonizing north, because just to see what's up there. Our allies are doing their conquering thing up that way, and this bit of land here might be held by one of our enemy's allies, so if I can get a colony there and start on occupying it, then maybe we can come out of this with a little bit of territorial gain. Next government reform is also available. That will be Tier 4 Administrative Cadre. So there is the Barbori Cadre, that will give us more advisors, leaders without upkeep, and stakes. The Dynatoi will get a monthly loyalty decrease, so meritocratic, on the other hand, advisor costs will go down, and Empori monthly loyalty and loyalty will go up, and influence will go up. Nobles, leader cost, Dynatoi loyalty and influence, administration, free policies. See, I'm actually going to go with the meritocratic recruitment for my choice. Advisor cost down, monthly loyalty up, and overall influence up. Yeah, strikes me as the one to go for here. Next on the list is the Deliberative Assembly. Not gonna get that for a while. And I'm honestly not sure which of those I'll be going for when I do get it. I am really not sure. And there's our next colony. So, colonize there, if you would. And I think... oh, that's already a core province. That's nice. Yeah, get up here. We have a general in place. I am going to actually participate in this war a little bit, I think. I will see if we can't get a little bit of territorial gain out of it. I can't fabricate claims on someone I'm at war with. I will move up to here. And I'll just put the number of people there that I need to actually maintain a siege. I'm going to occupy these folks. Here, that's an enemy army moving in. So, leave it as is. Reinforce our forces. And rowdy idiots. I can make a state, apparently. I'm actually going to hold off on that, just for now. That territory contains one of our allies, so, well... do the math. Massachusetts. There is also apparently at war with us, so... maybe I can claim them. We'll see. Two of a kind. No other Basileia is as brave as our Helene. Military tactics and organization have always been of great interest to her. In addition to her daily sword practice, she spends many hours each day studying the art of war. In the last few months, she has become better acquainted with one of our most respected commandants, and he in turn has taken our Basileia under his wing, teaching Helene everything she wishes to know. Now she has asked us to make the commandant an offer. I mean, he would make a much better advisor than the army organizer we currently employ. I'm going to say that she has a point. It doesn't replace the advisor, but it does make our ruler's wife... It does make our ruler's wife's friend a potential advisor to hire. So, he's available if needed, essentially. Oh, god damn it. And our ally won that war, but we did not even get any territory out of it. That's... or rather, these guys pieced out, but we didn't get any territory out of it, so... I was hoping we would get something out of that, really. And I have a truce with these guys, so I can't immediately go marching on them. Well, that's all the assistance you guys are getting out of me. You'll have to fight the rest of the war on your lonesome. I'm not helping. Nor am I going to summon the militia. See, the strain that the military lifestyle puts the men who serve under can, under good circumstances, lead to the development of a spirit of belonging and cooperation that greatly strengthens the armed forces. During the recent conflict, we have seen clear signs that our troops are working better together. They have formed strong bonds of loyalty and duty to the crown that would have seemed hard to imagine just a few years ago. It's what separates the Elysian troops from all others. We gain 3% army professionalism. Excellent. Our ally won their war and owes us 13 favors because we actually participated in that. Even though, to be honest, as I said, we were actually hoping to get territory out of this. Off of these guys here. Rather than just favors from our northern ally. But I suppose we will take the favors. If we can't have territory, we'll have favors. And all of that jazz. Now, we have something else we can do. We can found the Varangian Order. So, as more and more natives and Norsemen arrive at our nation, seeking its wealth and safety, more does the Emperor Mikhail the 11th realize how small and unprotected Elysia truly is. To remedy this, a plan was formed to establish the Varangian Order, composed mostly of converted Norsemen and natives, in the northern cape between Elysia and the Norse colonies. We will lose 100 ducats, but get the event Varangian settlement. I'm kind of curious about what this happens, so even though that's like half our money, I'm gonna do it. What this does, I mean, sorry. While Varangians have grown quite influential in the realm, we are still able to decide on which land they will govern over. We could send them... We'll settle them in Autopolis. Actually, no, we won't. I've changed my mind. I don't want to give up any territory. They can stay in the capital. Yeah, I did just basically decide to do that event and then change my mind. Wave of obscurantism. As a typical response to different kinds of problems, obscurantism was a frequent behavior in most nations until the Age of Enlightenment. Knowledge is power, we get unrest. Ignorance is bliss, lose prestige. We're already losing 2 Easy gear. Let's not speed that along. I'll just eat the unrest for now, and we'll deal with it. Just deal with it. But now, I have a decent income. I think I want to try boosting it a little bit with some trade. A couple of light ships. We can have a fleet of 23. We will cap it out at 10 for the time being, and this is just going to be my trade fleet. We will send them around protecting trade and the like in order to increase our income. That's really the only purpose they have. Increase income by doing this. And we can invest in new ideas. Finally, we're getting into the ones I actually want. With colonies starting with 200 settlers and settler chance plus 2%. And we get the Elysian idea of reworked Codex Justinius. That reduces our national unrest, which we don't have much in the way of unrest problems right now, but this will certainly help if we ever develop them. Blah, blah, blah. And the next of our national ideas is also a good one, because that's just a straight up boost to our tax income. And right now, taxes is a good chunk of our income. Of course, we're getting a pretty equal share from trade, but taxes is one of them. Okay, sorry about that. Personal stuff. But we've had an event pop up. Desires of the Flesh. Oh, we have successfully managed to keep the truth from the rest of the court. It is only a question of time until it gets out unless we do something. Mikhail the 11th recently discovered that his wife is having an affair. Only that, but the other guilty culprit is none other than our advisor, Demetrios Laskaris. Who is this advisor again? Oh, that would be our administrative advisor. The trust we put in him was obviously unfounded. So, we have 4 options. Now we know at least we can take measures to keep this quiet, allow the affair to continue, while doing our best to keep it from the public. We lose 10 prestige. This cannot continue. Find out what Demetrios wants for his silence. Bribe him to leave court and never breathe a word to anything. That would involve taking loans. This is high treason. We shall have his head for this. He's executed without a sufficient explanation. This will be seen as tyrannical and create unrest in Elysia and the surrounding areas. So that will be about 15 years worth of +3 unrest in the capital region. Or finally, we cannot have an adulterer for a queen, she must go. And we set her aside. Okay. I'm going to... Okay, here's how we're going to do this. Ship construction, I'm going to have to slow it down a bit. Done. 87. There we go. Now we have the money to afford the bribe. I've had to cut back on the number of light ships we're producing at once. For this, I hope you're happy. This cannot continue. Find out what Demetrius wants for his silence. And we bribe him to leave court and never speak a word of it to anyone. I'll have to hire a new advisor once I have the money, as well as starting the construction of the rest of my trade fleet. But it was better than the other options, quite frankly. Far, far better. So we have someone here, as I was saying before we got free Diplo power from that. We have this guy here who will give us extra national tax by 10%. Let's get him in on this. 13 ducats for that. And that should boost the income a little bit. Yep. It's by like 0.4, so not a whole lot. Our colony continues to grow, and it doesn't have much of a native problem, so we can relocate the army. I'll stick them in Antopolis for now, because this frontier up here is going to be where a lot of future conflict takes place. So it's well worth, I think. The Age of Discovery is also going to be ending soon. So that ability we took was kinda pointless. Unfortunately, it was a bit pointless. We didn't actually get any use out of it. Natives attack merchants. Throw the natives on the counts under the Barbary Council's protection have taken to piracy. Merchant ships belonging to prominent Emporii have gone missing, and it doesn't take a genius to figure out what happened to them. The Emporii are demanding the Barbary Councils be brought down a notch. Let's see, so currently the Barbary Councils have no influence, but they're also reasonably loyal. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm going to have to support the ones who are not pirates. Nothing personal. I'm sure you understand, right? As it is quite understandable that I wouldn't want to be supporting piracy. Because, well, it's piracy. You know how this goes, right? Hold on a second. Portuguese explorers have arrived. A small fleet of Portuguese ships were discovered off our shores today. After anchoring on the coast of one of our major port cities, we received a group of emissaries, one of whom spoke Greek, which was close enough to Elysian we could converse. They say that while most of Europe has given up on finding a new route to India, after our supposed demise, the Portuguese used the knowledge we'd given them and continued to send secret expeditions west in search of our fleet. They offer us a unique proposition. In exchange for exclusive access to our more exotic trade goods, they will introduce us to new technological advances from Europe. Of course, we could just prevent them from leaving and take their supplies for ourselves, well, that won't stop them from sending more ships. And if we go surround their ships and then escape, they really hate us for that and get a bunch of claims on us. But I think we're actually fine with this. I am going to sign this trade deal with them, establish a Portuguese enclave, keeping them isolated from our people. We get a boost to trade efficiency, production efficiency, and most importantly of all for me, we get a load of institution embracement costs and institution spread. It's going to help us counteract the issues we've been having with technology from the Renaissance. Price of squirrel silk is also changed by minus 50% until the end of the game. Portugal gets their trade deal thing, and they add 50 trust towards us. Icos gets a small Portuguese enclave, which gives them plus 10 to local trade power and plus 25% local sailors modifier. State maintenance and local autonomy go up though, and institution spread also goes up. I'm going with that. Yes, indeed. Now, our fleet, right here, needs to start building a few more ships. However, let's see. I'm going to give this fleet the mission to protect trade. We already have 182 coming in from trade in the Bay of Elysia. I'm actually going to have them protect trade in the Ericsson Gulf. Or maybe not. Actually, yeah, the Ericsson Gulf is the one that's actually going to make us money, even if it's not by much. So that fleet can go off and protect trade, and we'll build more ships to add to it as time goes on, which will increase the trade protection amount. We also get good supplies, so heavy and light ships will cost less for us from now on. Next month I'll be able to add another ship to the ones under construction. We're building 2. I think I want to get up to at least 10 ships as far as the size of my trade fleet is. We're finally starting to get a fleet going on, and that will boost our income a decent chunk. Trade and taxes together is quite profitable to us. Lose some diplo power, I don't care. Profiteering and Troyzen. The citizens of Troyzen have grown tired of the local influence of greedy Yamansa merchants that they claim are using unfair advantages to outcompete local businesses. They demand we step in to limit the influence even of foreign traders in the area. If we do not, they might take matters into their own hands. Yes, I think that's a good idea. We must protect our own trade. But I would check where that's located, but I apparently can't. That or I'm just really bad at remembering the name of the place. Probably both, now I think of it. And let's add another ship to the construction queue for our trade fleet. Start working on getting a bit of income. Okay. These two ships can merge up when I find them in the same region. There you go. Have a few more ships. And we can now advance our military technology and get the ability to have cannons in the army. Also, more tactics, some artillery fire and artillery shock. So, yaha. As a result, I think we would like to recruit one more unit for the army. I want to have at least one cannon prepared, so that our army has at least one unit of artillery. It may come in handy when we end up fighting an actual war to have some artillery, even though it won't make up very much of our forces. I still want to have them. The size of our trade fleet has also gone up a little bit. And we lose some admin power. Now, let's send the cannons to join up with the rest of our army. Congratulations, Elysium now has artillery. Hooray for having artillery. Hopefully it actually turns out to be somewhat useful to us. And that colony has been fully established. I can't colonize that place up there because bloody Terra Incognita. That's annoying. We're too far away to do anything like that. Unfortunately. It's annoying. Now the question then becomes, do I push further north, colonize these places, and get a border with those guys, or start going south towards Florida? I'm gonna say south towards Florida. Also, there are apparently smugglers running rampant. Unfortunately, guys, we don't have the money to stop them. You're going to have to put up with it for the time being. And we immediately assimilate some natives. Nice. As you can see here, though, that 200 population at start is quite handy for us to have. So we'll start colonizing our way down there, I think. And the Poseidon Festival thing, I'm not going to read it. I've read that like 2 or 3 times now. So you already know what it says. It's the Poseidon Festival thing, is what we know it as. And we can finally unlock the last of the development ideas. Institutions will spread faster now. And we can have more states. But now that I've got that unlocked, I can take a step back from those institutions and start working on my administrative technology a little more. Hopefully Portugal starts spreading the Renaissance to us. That would be rather nice to have, given the number of penalties that we have right now. Apparently it is present in Icos, though. I don't know. It's not been embraced in Icos, though. The Renaissance is 33% present. That would be the reason why. And how high does it need to be to get embraced, I wonder? My guess would probably be 50%. Once the Renaissance reaches 50% in Icos, it should be embraced, and then it will start to spread around our country much quicker. That's my theory, anyways. I don't actually have any proof of that, but it's what would seem to make sense. To me, anyways. Amalai here is now producing furs. That's rather nice. Thriving arms industry has expired. This has obscurantism. That one I won't complain about being rid of. Definitely not. Tuetlo. We don't actually know where they are. They're currently undiscovered. Speaking of undiscovered, we can't do that with people who are at war, annoyingly enough. And you guys are dicks. Oh, there they are. There they are. So, Tuetlo. You have no interest in sharing your maps. I don't suppose you would join them. Our ally would actually join up with them if we declared war, along with the Cherokee, annoyingly enough. Okay, Catawba, you guys, literally everyone would join them. Okay, we're not going to be declaring war on any of our neighbors anytime soon. Defender in the Tuetlo conquest of Potomac. Although, I'm just thinking about this. If our ally down there gets completely ruffled, stomped, and everything, then it's possible they might start becoming weak enough that we can convince them about the merits of vassalization. Unfortunately, we have to, I'm just seeing this now, we have to embrace the Renaissance to be able to start doing work on the development in our territories, which is a bit annoying, as I would like to start developing stuff, as that would help us with getting the economic edge we need to convince them they should become our subjects. Not happening right now, though. And they still think they're militarily superior. Bafflingly. That truly is baffling. In every way that it's possible to be baffled. But now it is the 1st of January 1500, and I think we've reached a pretty good stopping point for this episode. So I'm gonna cut it here. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Third Odyssey Back to the Motherland, and I hope you'll join me next week for some more Elysian adventures. See you then, everyone.